Hello, English scene for the scooter, and I will later do, I think later, Dutch version. To start off weird, or let's call it weird, uh, I was scared. And by the way, the noise you maybe hear, that is the little fountain or whatever you call it, waterfall. I like it, and it's a bit loud, sorry. But I was scared. Scared riding home, and my scooter was making quite some RPM, and I was like, it's about 5,000 kilometers from when I last changed the belt and the rollers. So when I had the maintenance by the store where I bought it, he said the belt was still good. That was about then I had 3 or 4 thousand on the belt. Now we are further, so it's about 7 or 8, because I'm about 3,000, 3,500 further from the maintenance. Then that's a lot. Most often, about 5,000 it goes with, and then I had it before twice, I think. Suddenly the belt explodes. First, the inside where the ribs are, you can fold it the other way so the ribs are open, and if you can see inside because it's correct, all the ribs are correct, then you can see how the belt is put together. When that's too far, the out and inside just explodes. And as I say or said, I had it before, so I was like, oh no. I just left work and had to go quite a bit, maybe 10 kilometers, like that, I think. And I was, oh boy. At that time, I knew the scooter shop, I expected to be closed. And God said, don't worry, it's all fine. You will see it tomorrow when you open up. And I was like, yeah, okay. In faith, I'm riding home. God was right. But the RPM going uphill, no problem to top speed. Top speed is where the limiter is. The limiter is the scooter as itself. You can set it at certain speeds. It almost went there, almost high, 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 and I was like, "You're going quite easy, fast to the top. You don't have really a problem with it." But keep in mind, summer, so it's warmer. There has been some rain, so the air is not totally dry. So the oil is at temperature. The belt is warm. It all is ready. The cylinder is easy to temperature. So it's all at its power. The it's doing about 48 kilometers on a liter. And so I was driving and I was like, oh, I knew I had to trust God. I had to come but calm down, but still scary. It's strong, so an uphill, I'm like, you are strong. If this is all okay, then wow. So going home, and indeed the next day, open it up, see maintenance with the air pressure tool, or how to say it. Then the nuts were tight, so the clutch I couldn't get loose. I have a tool for it, but I just can't get it loose. And the, the for the variator I could get with some, when it didn't go that easy, but I did get it loose. And while checking, I saw that belt looks good. And I checked the other belts. I had the older ones, and I have a new one. So that new one is waiting. So I took it off, or off the front. I took off and checked the belt, and I also checked it with a new belt, and I was like, this belt simply looks like new, which reminds me of the Jews in the desert in Egypt when they came out of Egypt. Shoes and all stayed perfect. I was like, this is just the same. Actually, for how much mileage there is on, it's a miracle. I mean, it's just like the new one. And this is, let's say, 7.5, 8,000 kilometers old. So I was like, it really looks good. So I opened up and I turned it around, the belt. Like I said, the clutch I couldn't get the nut loose, so it's stuck in there. So I need to turn that. So wherever I looked, the belt was just fine. The rollers, fine. And I got rollers that are not smooth and strong like low Vinci rollers, but Bendux or whatever the name is. It's like um, it's not hard plastic, but it can. I had it before. It gets flat spots, but if they looked right, it was just fine. I'm like, okay, second miracle. So I put it back, and that I put tension on it because I learned if you take it apart, you have to put tension on it again. Because when it starts, it gets a whip. Because if it isn't on tension, the whole belt and all has to, and the variator is not good because when the belt is on tension, it pushes against the variator, so it's good closed. So there has to be tension on it so it can run safely. So did that, closed it up, and it's okay, it's good. So next day driving, next day it was, yeah, next day driving to work, and I ripped it because I mean ripped it. I pedal to the metal because it is good, and well, when it's good, enjoy the power it has. And I thought often when you take it apart, it has to set a little, so it's just like adjusted settings, so it's not the same as it was before, but it still was great. So then I was like, as I said, the weather was good. Air has some moisture in it, so it's not totally dry. The oil is good enough. It all is fine because summer. So because in the winter it's cold, the air is a bit dry, blah blah blah. So the engine has to get to the temperature. So the fuel is thicker, the air is thicker. So you use more, and so it's stronger. In the summer, it uses less because the air is thinner, the fuel is thinner, so you use less fuel, so less strong. And I was like, it's almost stronger than winter, but it's all a temperature. And I don't have to watch like high RPM so you use more fuel. No, when it's all warm and good and the fuel is adjusted to the air, it only uses what it needs, and because this cylinder is tight, it's all good. It only builds up more power. So that was what I was noticing. All was good. So it was a lesson for me as well to see that I was scared at well, at how good it did. And God was right. Didn't know. The build was really like new. The roller saver was right. I saw a fast glance on it and good. So this scooter really is great. I had Kimco, but this Sim, this scooter, really good. Yes, I had to adjust some things, like the air filter, but usually every 3 years I buy the new one. I had another scooter kept longer, that was a Kimco, the Dink 50. And this scooter too, I don't wanna. Maybe I simply need to save up for a really new one, but this one I don't want to lose because it's so good. So, yeah, that was a big lesson. But for the next maintenance, I do want a bigger jet because it has more power than less use, but in general, more power. Not higher top speed, that is fixed. Highest top speed I don't want. It's fun, but not safe. And you can't use it anyway because you're in traffic. And if you're not in traffic and you need to brake anyway, that energy, that power that's in the speed that you're going and want to brake in time and in traffic, I just don't want it. It's fun, but not safe. Good, have a good weekend.